Daily from Dagenham. It's Mr. P's Lessons. Free your mind in these troubled and strange times. Food for your mind, free your mind. Thank you very much. Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Lesson 4. Today I'm going to be talking about one of my favourite poems of all time, which is Daffodils by William Wordsworth. Today is William Wordsworth's birthday, so it's especially relevant. Now that's why I've picked this poem. And in the poem, William Wordsworth describes a walk that he had with his sister when he saw lots of daffodils. Now, as I read this to you, I want you to think about what the leitmotif of the poem is. What is the poem actually about? It's not just about daffodils. It's more to do with the spirit and the soul, because Wordsworth was a romantic poet and he wrote about nature and the beauty that could be found in nature, and how when you look at things in the real world, in the natural world, you can commune with higher things, higher, more spiritual things. So it's a lovely poem. Let me read it to you. I'm going to read it off the screen here, and then we'll talk about it. And then what I'd like you to do is to write your own poem. But first of all, as you listen to the poem, see if you can get the leitmotif. What is the golden thread that runs all the way through this poem? Okay, here we go. Daffodils by William Wordsworth. I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high o'er vales and hills, when all at once I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, beside the lake, beneath the trees, fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way, they stretched in never-ending line along the margins of a bay. 10,000 saw I at a glance, tossing their heads in sprightly dance. The waves beside them danced, but they outdid the sparkling waves in glee. A poet could not but be gay in such a jocund company. I gazed and gazed, but little thought what wealth the show to me had brought. For oft, when on my couch I lie, in vacant or in pensive mood, they flash upon that inward eye which is the bliss of solitude, and then my heart with pleasure fills and dances with the daffodils. Okay, so what I suggest you do now is pause this video and take a moment to think about what the leitmotif of the poem is. What do you think it's about? Make some notes, have a think before you play the rest of the video. Welcome back. Have a look at the picture on your screen. This is by a very famous British artist called David Hockney. He's in isolation, he's living in France, and he's been painting pictures of spring. And he painted a picture of daffodils because he wanted people who are in isolation to be able to share with him the things he can see in his garden. A very generous act. But have a look at this painting. Look at the daffodils and look at the background. Look at the sky, look at the dark midground, and look at the way the daffodils are drooping. I want you to think about those daffodils, and you're going to write about what you saw in the painting. Now, there is no right or wrong way of doing this. I want you to write what you see. So the first stanza will be, I went wandering on the internet, lonely as a cloud, and I saw David Hockney's daffodils. Do not worry about rhyming, because rhyming is very difficult in a poem, and if you spend too much attention on the rhyme, you can end up losing the meaning of the poem. So I want you to focus on the meaning. So that's the first two lines of the poem. And then I want you to describe what you saw. So tell me what the daffodils look like, their colour, what they reminded you of. Tell me what the sky looked like, what that reminded you of. Tell me what the midground looked like, what it reminded you of. And that will be your first stanza. And then we come on to the more complicated second stanza. And that's going to start with, now I'm in isolation, I have lots of time to think. I close my eyes and I can see. And then you're going to describe all the things that you can see. You can describe the things that you can see in your imagination, in your rich inner world. And in lesson 1 that we had, I had some very good suggestions from people. I want you to, from all of you in the class, I want you today to try and add to that, to your initial ideas, and to put them on the class dojo. Okay, so describe what you can see when you close your eyes. All the things that you can picture. And if I were to do this and I was in class, I'd now be writing on the board and showing examples of things like, I can see the sun sparkling on the sea like a tray of diamonds. I can hear the low murmurous hum of the wind in the woods. I can hear children screaming and crying with joy in the park. I can hear the roar of a football crowd at the Olympic Stadium. I can see crowds pushing and shoving in Stratford. All the things that you're familiar with, that you've experienced before, all the things you can picture when you close your eyes. This poem will be brilliant if you can get your ideas down, put them on Class Dojo, submit them, and then I'll look at them and then mark them. So good luck with that. Yeah, very, very good luck with that one. And finally, I'd like to wish everyone the best of health. Wish the Prime Minister a speedy recovery, and to all the families of Eastbrook School, I wish everyone the very best of health in these difficult times. Okay, thank you. Good luck with your poems, and I look forward to seeing them on Class Dojo. Bye.